This is Burr Stewart, and behind me you can see some of the Burrlington Northern. I'm going to flip my phone around, and then you can see some of the work I've been doing lately. We're reballasting some of the areas in Interbay, so we have all the engines out. And I wanted to show you a technique for recovering if you do it quickly enough from a ballasting mistake. So for several years now, I've had the nice gray main line where you see the engines, but this lead to the Interbay classification yard was bare. And I thought, okay, I'll put some ballast down on here. And so I used this little handy dandy tool to just pour a whole bunch of ballast, and I spent some time deciding which color to do. And I picked this Colorado mainline ballast that I made up from Woodland Scenics, and you can see there it's 1 part buff, 1 part brown, and 1 part gray. And we used that over on the Colorado main by the Stacy Street yard, and I thought, well, it's a pretty good color here. So I poured it down, and I was just about to tamp it and glue it. And let me just show you that. Sorry for the jiggling. I think I'll put this in the tripod now. Nice to be able to see those beautiful locomotives. So if you see, when you tamp it, here I can move that over a little bit. What happens is that the grains of ballast, they come off the ties. And before you know it, that guy's ready to glue. I mean, it looks really good. All I did was pour ballast on it, knock it a little bit. The grains went down in between the ties, and we're ready to glue. Now, the trouble is, the more I look at this, it's too bright, and it's not the right color. It's just, I mean, it's true that it's different from the main line, but it's basically a mistake. And I recently put some darker, more dirt-colored ballast in the area over in the other part of Interbay. Let me just show you that for a second. And if we look over here in the other part of Interbay, you can see when you're working on the layout, it's not nearly as pretty as it usually is for the videos. But look how nice this back track is. This is an industrial track in the back of Interbay. And I just love this color. And it's made out of paver sand with a little bit of real dirt added. And I just love it. I mean, I made it myself. I'll just show you what the paver sand looks like. It's $5 for a 50-pound bag of it. And you've probably seen this discussed in other places. And you just take Boy, I did not like my going down to the basement floor like that. Sorry about that. So I was just saying that the dirt color is going to be much better here because this is the end of the switching yard, so it would only be used by switchers, this track here. So I want to get rid of this ballast that I just put down, and I just wanted to show you this fun technique where you take an old stocking, and you can see this on my ops video number 6, I think it is, where we're playing around a Delta yard, and I'd accidentally spilled a load of copper ore, and I just vacuumed it up with a sock. So if we take the vacuum cleaner, put the sock around it, you can recover the material that you vacuum up. And I was very happy when I found out about this, because now I didn't have to throw everything away. So here we go. I'm going to turn on the vacuum cleaner. You won't be able to hear me anymore, but I'm going to suck all this stuff up in no time. next time I do that, I'll use the other arm so you'll be able to see what I'm doing. So you pull the sock out of the vacuum hose. Here, I'll point this down at a work surface down below. So here's my container of ballast. My sock. This is everything I just recovered from the layout. And just turn it upside down, dump it in. And now you'd never know that I made that mistake. I've still got my nice container of ballast. And if we look up here on the layout, I've got a track ready to be ballasted, just like it's been for the last 3 or 4 or 5 years. If you know Seth Newman in the Bay Area, he's the one who suggested this track. He said we were fouling the main line with our classification maneuvers in Interbay, and we really ought to have an extra lead for the classification track. So let's just try this and see if we like it. So here's my little ballast applicator, and here's my dirt ballast that I like so much. Just pour this in here. And we just move this thing along. And look at that, it just applies some ballast in between the rails. Now, I could just shake this out with a cup too, but this is really slick. I better turn it over so you can see the rest of the operation. It's a little bit like, I'm not sure what, watching someone do a really tedious job. But I did want you to see how easy it is to apply ballast with one of these guys. Isn't that fun? And you know what's coming next. We're going to tamp it, and before you know it, it'll be ready to glue. Looks like I'm going to have to make up some more of this. But I'm not going to be in too big a hurry to glue because I want to sleep on it overnight. Because when I put that other ballast on, I thought it was the right thing. So you bang on this, and those little grains of ballast, they go off the ties. Now it's not happening as fast as I'd like, so I'm going to use my brush and sweep the extra material over. I'm really not worried about having too much material here because there's a pretty big space between this track and the main line, and so it doesn't matter if I fill it up with a little extra dirt. Look how well that works when you just bang on it. It gets the little pieces down. I might not show this entire thing because I don't want to bore you to death. I haven't already. And I'm going to have to make up some more. So I think what we should do now is just, let me show you that close up. See how incredibly well that turned out. Just like that. Banged on it, and it's ready to glue down. Except I'm a little bit concerned about this trough over here. Do I want to leave it exposed dirt and grass like that? Or do I want to put a little more dirt in there And that's the kind of thing I like to sleep on. Here, I'm blocking the light with my other hand there. I like to sleep on these things and not make the decision right away. The other thing I want to do is put some dirt on this end, but I just ran out of ballast, so I'm going to have to make up another batch. So we won't bother with that today. Now, the other thing that is going to happen soon, but I'm not going to do it right now, is all these engines are out here on the main line. You probably figured this out. They're all out on the main line because we've got the engine terminal here in Interbay emptied out so that we could put that nice ballast in. Now this is a different color ballast that we put in the last couple of weeks. And Dave Enger and I have been working in the corner here on a new model of the Time Oil facility that was right there next to the Emerson Street overpass. And the loading dock, which is over here, is actually going to be over here next to the tank. We'll probably put a little bend in it. That's two of those Walthers oil loading platform kits glued together, and I think we're going to do a third one at an angle so we can handle the bend here. I'll raise up the camera. You can see it's on a corner because that's the way it fits in the layout room here. It's a little weird to have an oil loading platform on a curve, but weirder things have been done on model railroads, I assure you. So that's the view down Interbay. I think I'm going to sign off now, and we'll come back and do another live stream. But thank you for joining, and I hope you enjoy all of our future live streams and videos on the Burrlington Northern. Goodbye.